Hey everyone, I've been outside this morning watching our little kitten climb up the tree behind us, explore and be curious. And it's taken me back to a memory of a workshop I attended not that long ago. And I remember everyone arriving and feeling the buzz in the room and the curiosity and anticipation of what we were about to learn, which was all around organisational behaviour and drilling into that deeper level and the interface between behaviour and the organisation. And what was fascinating, particularly with it being in the area of human behaviour, was the way in which it was being communicated, which was pretty much 6 hours of PowerPoint, text-heavy brain fry. And I kind of had a moment of thinking to myself, I could have just reread my book from university in the comfort of my own home with a glass of wine. You know, I really felt so sorry for the trainer because very quickly you could see this disconnect happening with us as the learners and him as the trainer. So if you, like me, do facilitated workshops, if you're ever in an opportunity to be able to engage with learners and you don't want them to basically fall asleep snoring, then listen up. I'm going to share a really simple model that should be used every time when designing any kind of facilitated training. Because people learn in different ways, and so often I see trainers only training in their preferred learning style. And of course, when we do that, we only connect with a percentage of the participants. Now, David Kolb, a psychologist and an educational theorist, talks about how learning is a process of knowledge construction that involves tension and experience among not just one, but 4 modes of being. The very simplest explanation of those modes are firstly, why? Why should I learn this? Give me a reason. Next mode is the what. Just tell me what I need to do so I can go away and do my job. The next mode is the how. I want to get in. I want to get my hands dirty. Give me an experience. And then lastly, what if? How am I going to apply this? How am I going to link this to the real world in my life? What if I applied it here? What if I applied it there? Now, outside of Kolb's model, just in general, something that's really important to understand here is that the way in which we as human beings assimilate knowledge is created through the reflection of previous experience. So let me say that again. The lens in which we assimilate knowledge is created through the reflection of past experience. So every time we have a thought, our thoughts start seeking meaning and connection based on everything that we have learnt up to this point in time. So this is why it's so important to help our learners make meaning, not through just teaching content, but bringing that content to life with context. Because it's not just about getting our content out there, it's about connecting with the entire human being who has previous experience, established concepts, their own perspective and point of view. So how do we help connect our content to the different viewpoints? By using context. And let's jump back into Kolb's 4 modes of learning. So the why, the what, the how and the what if. And let's use a car for an analogy. So this is where you would have to sell the car, you know, turn it on, ignite the passion, show why this car is such a cool car. And then once you've done that, the driver wants to know, what is this vehicle all about? Show me the driver's manual, give me a demo. In the how mode, let's drive. Let's take this baby for a test drive, put it into action. And the what if mode, I want to get out on the road. What if I went here? What if I went there? I want to explore where this can take me in the big wide world that I live in. Now it's important to know that we all have the why, what, how and what if within us. But we tend to have a preference over one or another. As I have talked through Kolb's 4 quadrants, you may have even found yourself going, yep, that sounds a little bit like me. Now when we are traveling through the modes, in the why mode, we are dealing with feelings. In the what, we are working with thinking. In the how, it's all about doing. And in the what if, this is where we are working with what's called linking. So this is where we are helping the learners to link the importance, the information, the experience into their world. Now let's explore what happens when we miss one of these modes. Give no why and you will get no buy-in, no engagement, no motivation for learners to learn. Miss the what? Well, no content, no information. People just don't know what it's about. Miss the how? You are deleting the experience, the how to do it, the practice that will enable application, that will encourage participants to make use of that learning. Miss the what if? You are missing the opportunity to link the experience to the real world outside of the training room. If we take a moment to put on the hat of a trainer, in the why mode, you are a motivator. This is where you inspire and get people to reflect on what's in it for them. In the what, you become a trainer, a teacher of content. Traditional learning systems are taught this way. In the how, you become a coach, helping your learners to refine their techniques, looking at knowledge gaps and then performance-based coaching to close those gaps. In the what if, this is where you are a facilitator. So out of the content and more into the process of application, helping individuals to make the link of what they have learnt in the classroom into the real world. Let's take a moment to think about how you would apply this in a work context. So let's say something boring like a SOP, a standard operating procedure. Now those managers that really understand the importance of these modes, and particularly the why, will experience a greater level of success than those that have the mindset of, my team should just adhere to the standard, they should just do their job, you know, that's what I pay them to do. Now yes, absolutely agree that there should be consequence to non-adherence to process and standards and systems. But if you want that greater level success, if you want to get next level engagement and productivity with an owner's mindset, starting with the why and going through the 4 modes will get you there. So let's say, for example, you are deploying an SOP that has critical inputs and outputs to each process step. You may say something like, in the why mode, if you want to be the kind of person who comes into work and really enjoys your day because you don't have to constantly rework waste in the process, stay back late to deal with issues that keep you from getting home to your family. If you would like to be the kind of person who can make a positive impact on your team and the teams around you and ultimately yours and the company's success, then this SOP is worth a lot more than the paper that it's written on. Now in the what, you are going to learn the SOP. So you would read through it, you would bring it to life with scenarios. You might break into groups and have a discussion around how it might be applied. As a trainer in this mode, you can get really creative and get groups to put on different roles and act out and present back their learnings and insights. In the how, you are also beginning to explore what are the learners' gaps and how can I help them to close those gaps in understanding. If you get a chance to go see and walk the process, then take the opportunity to get into the physical environment. You may also in this stage co-develop with your learners tools on how you will validate on-job learning and measure maturity and success. Then it's about linking. When you get back into your work environment, what are some of the things you could do to apply this? What could you adjust in order to get optimal success? What are the conversations you could be having with other team members? Take a moment to imagine what this would look like in application 1 week from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now. How are you going to ensure that you get not just process adherence, but this wonderful continuous improvement that contributes to your sense of on-job satisfaction that has a flow-on effect into other areas of your life? So see in that SOP example how we closed the loop and we linked back into the why. Now when you think about it, Kolb's modes of learning are not just for learners in a training room. Think about conference training, e-learning. What about outside of the work environment? Online social media platforms. With technology today, we are learning in very different ways. The modes are also a way of communicating that we can use in other areas of our life, in our relationships with family, friends, with our colleagues. And if communicated in an expansive and systemic way, they can bring meaning and purpose. And when we have meaning and purpose, we have a greater sense of fulfillment in life.